Hello students, welcome to Detailed Chronicles by Abhiram IAS Academy. So, ee roju Detailed Chronicles lo bhaganga we are talking about 1000 years legacy of the Chola dynasty. Now, why this is in news, and let's talk about the Chola dynasty in detail. So, why it is in news? Because on the occasion of Adi Tiruvatturai festival. Now, what is this Adi Tiruvatturai festival? That is the birth anniversary of Rajendra Chola I. Adi Tiruvatturai festival is the birth anniversary of your Rajendra Chola I. Clear? Rajendra Chola I. Now, in this article, they have mentioned some important points. Let's see that. So, on this occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that, so Cholas gurinchi cheptu, what did he say is that with respect to Cholas were having a strong naval army, and also he appreciated for bringing India united. Clear? He has said that Chola dynasty is very much important because they have brought the unity and strengthened our army, navy. Clear? And also in the same aspect, on the same occasion, he has also released a coin with respect to the Rajendra Chola I. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi also released a commemorative coin in the honor of Rajendra Chola I. Now, who is this Rajendra Chola I known for? What is Rajendra Chola I known for? He is known for your Gangaikonda Cholapuram, which was the capital of Chola Empire, and also the temple. So, Rajendra Chola I is known for Gangaikonda Cholapuram and also for building the Brihadishwara temple. Clear? And now further, the article is also mentioning about the Rajaraja Chola. Now, who is this Rajaraja Chola? Rajaraja Chola built a powerful navy, and his son, that is Rajendra Chola I. So, Rajaraja Chola is the father of your Rajendra Chola I. Is this clear? So, Rajaraja Chola, who brought the powerful navy, his son is your Rajendra Chola. So, Rajendra Chola I father is your Rajaraja Chola. Clear? Now, tana significance enti? So, he strengthened the powerful navy. And also, he strengthened the local administration. So, the first, in the entire history, if you take, the first dynasty to bring the local self-government, to bring here local self-government is your Cholas. So, local self-government తీసుకొచ్చింది ఎవరండి? Cholas. Clear? And also, further, they have brought the foreign trade relations with respect to Sri Lanka, Maldives, China also. They had the diplomatic relations with China, Sri Lanka, and also Southeast Asia. And in honor of this, even the Andaman and Nicobar Islands capital, that is Port Blair, was named as Sri Vijayapuram. In honor of the Cholas. So, in honor of Cholas, the capital of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, that is Port Blair, they have renamed it as, the recent government has renamed it as Sri Vijayapuram. Is this clear? So, this is a news article telling about the summarization of this thing. Now, let's see the holistic thing about the Chola dynasty. Now, when did they come into the picture? So, in the years of 9th century CE, there the Chola dynasty have been begun. So, emerged as powerful dynasty in your 9th century. Remember, in your 9th century. Now, where did they establish this? In your Tamil Nadu. Mari, in the greatest rulers ever ante Rajaraja Chola, Rajendra I and Rajaraja I. What was the capital city there? They are having capital city first Uriyar, tarvata Tanjavur ki shift chesaru. Then further Rajendra Chola I established the capital city of your Gangaikonda Cholapuram. సో ఫస్ట్ క్యాపిటల్ సిటీ ఏంటి? ఫస్ట్ క్యాపిటల్ సిటీ ఉరియార్. దాని తర్వాత తంజావూర్కి షిఫ్ట్ చేశారు. నౌ ఆఫ్టర్ ఇయర్ రాజేంద్ర చోళా వన్, హీ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ ది క్యాపిటల్ సిటీ ఎట్ గంగైకొండ చోళపురం. క్లియర్? సో మరి టెరిటోరియల్ ఎక్స్టెంట్ ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఎక్కడికి అంటే తమిళనాడు, దే హ్యావ్ కవర్డ్ తమిళనాడు, కేరళ and some parts of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and also they went and they reached till here Southeast Asia. That is your Sri Vijaya. Clear? So 9th century lo start chesaru in Tamil Nadu. Important rulers evaru? Rajaraja Chola I and your Rajendra Chola I. And further, if you take the Chola's capital city, the first one is Udiyar. Tarvata they have shifted to Tanjavur, and after when Rajendra Chola I has become the ruler, he has shifted the capital or established the capital at here Gangaikonda Cholapuram. And further, Tarvata territorial extent, not only in Tamil Nadu nunchi Karnataka, Karnataka nunchi some parts of Andhra Pradesh, and they went to like Sri Lanka, Maldives, and also even reached Southeast Asia. Clear? Now further, now if you see the important rulers, who is the important ruler? That is, who founded this Chola dynasty? It is here Vijayala Chola. Vijayala Chola is a founder of your Chola dynasty, remember. Vijayala Chola. Now further, Aditya I, he is your consolidated power. Rajaraja I is a great conqueror. And also Rajendra I took the Cholas to the next level. So they are the important rulers. Who founded this Chola dynasty? That is here Vijayalaya Chola. Clear? Now further, military achievements chuskunte, Rajaraja Chola I, he has conquered Sri Lanka and also some parts of Kerala. And Taravata, Rajendra Chola I, he defeated Sri Vijaya Empire, which is towards the southeast of Asia, and further led the naval expeditions. So the first to bring naval, that is naval military force into the picture is here Chola dynasty, and also first one to establish local self-government is here Chola dynasty. Is this clear? Now further, let's talk about the economy, trade and commerce. So economy ela unde ante agrarian economy, that is mostly agriculture in nature. And they're having wetland rice cultivation. Tarvata extensive irrigation undedi. So they improve the irrigation systems also, that is your tanks and canals. And they're also having the maritime trade. If a trade and commerce chuskunte, they have traded with here Southeast Asia, China and Arabia. Now what were things they have been brought? They exported spices, textiles and pearls. So Chola dynasty, like they have been exported spices, textiles and pearls. Mari port cities chuskunte, this is important. Port cities are very much important. That is Nagapattinam and Kaveri Pattanam. These two are the port cities which belongs to your Chola dynasty. So first one is economy. Economy is mostly agrarian economy. That is, they depended upon agriculture. They used to do wetland cultivation and extensive irrigation systems were there where your tanks and canals were improved, and further they also they're mostly significant for their maritime trade also. Mar everevartho trade chesaru? Southeast Asia tho, China tho, like even Sri Lanka tho, and also further with respect to Arabia, Middle East. And now further they exported the spices, textiles and pearls. Now if you see the port cities, two port cities are important, Nagapattinam and also Kaveripatnam. Clear? Now next, coinage. Yes, they have been issued gold coins, silver coins and copper coins, where they were having the images of the Chola empires. Coins paina Chola empire images undevi. Clear? And for the religion, they primarily followed Shaivism, but also they followed Vaishnavism also. They're mostly Shaivas, but also they have practiced like Vaishnavism also. And they were tolerant. They were tolerant towards all other religions, especially Jainism gani, Buddhism gani. Clear? And further, if you see the society, caste system was prevalent. caste system was prevalent, and they were known for their temple architecture, mostly Dravidian temple architecture. So temples were also socio-economic hubs. And further, women, if you see the women, they are only having the limited rights. Clear? So caste system was there. Mostly they built temples, that is Dravidian temples, and also women rights were less. And further, if you see the educational literature, mostly, see, they are practicing Tamil literature, flourished the Tamil literature, and texts like Periyapuram, Kambaramayanam. This is important. Kambaramayanam, these were famous during the Chola period. Now, who has written Kambaramayanam? Please, please do message in the comment box. And now further, if you see the architecture, mostly Dravidian style, where your Rajaraja I built the Brihadeshwara temple and Tanjavur, which were your UNESCO sites. And UNESCO site is Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple also. Temple architecture is a separate go chuddam. And now sculpture and bronze art. The bronze art, that is Nataraja Swami temple, Nataraja Swami idol, bronze idol, is very much familiar. If you take that name, you have to remember the Cholas itself. Clear? Foreign relations, just now we saw. So sent embassies to China also. They are having trade relations with China, Srivijaya, and also in Middle East. And further, how did it decline? Internal conflicts vachai, and further invasion by Pandyas, Hoysalas, and finally Delhi Sultanates. Is this clear? Now, let's see the art and architecture. So, 3 temples were important. Brihadeshwara temple, which was built by Rajaraja I. It is a UNESCO site. Gangaikonda Cholapuram, which was built by Rajendra I. It is a UNESCO site. And Arteshwara temple, that is built by Rajaraja II. Airavathareshwara temple, that was built by Rajaraja II, that is also UNESCO temple. Is this clear? So, 3 temples, Brihadeshwara temple, Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple, and Airavateshwara temple, that is built by Rajaraja II. These 3 are UNESCO sites. Now, what is famous in Brihadeshwara temple is, you are having 216 feet Vimana, which is monolithic. You are also having monolithic Nandi and also granite structures. So, 216 feet of your Vimana, monolithic Nandi. And Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple, if you take, larger sanctum, structural finance of Shiva temple, and this is Shiva temple. Further, if you take this Airavathareshwara temple, you are having a chariot shaped mandapam, and also you are having musical steps. But this is important. Musical steps are seen in your Airavateshwara temple, which was built by Rajaraja II. Gangaikonda Cholapuram Rajendra I, and Brihadeshwara temple Rajaraja I. And further, if you see the administration, well organized administration, and it was decentralized. Remember, it was decentralized. Now here where you find your local self-government comes into the picture as it is decentralized. Now further, the empire is divided into mandalams, nadus, and also villages. So these villages had the local self-government, especially the Brahmin villages were called here sabhas. Now further, if you see this Uttarameruru inscription is describing about the village elections and rules. So, and further, the first Indian empire to launch the naval expeditions to Southeast Asia, that is towards Indonesia, Malaysia, is your Cholas. Clear? So, well organized and decentralization, that is your local self-government. Now, further, the empire is divided into mandalams, nadus, and villages. So, this village has had your local self-government, that is self-government. And further, Uttarameruru inscription describes about your village elections and rules. And they were the first dynasty to launch the naval expeditions to your Southeast Asia, that is your Indonesia and Malaysia. And now further, if we see the Kudavolai system, this is very much important, that is your Chola electoral innovation. This is old age practice. Now, what is this about is, so it is an electoral system which is used during the Chola period to choose the members for village assemblies, just like your elections. Now elections. Now, what the significance of it is having a pot and it is having a palm leaf. In that palm leaf, you have to write the name and you have to put it in that pot. Clear? Now, further, if you have to mix, it is taken by the children. Now, who is taking this? Whose name is coming? They will become the village head. So, the mechanism, names of eligible candidates were written on palm leaves and these were placed in a pot. A neutral child will draw a lot publicly and the selected name will be declared as the winner. Now, what is the purpose for it? To ensure the transparency, prevent dynastic dominance and also uphold the civic integrity in your local self-government. So, this is Kudavolai system which is important and this is related to your Chola dynasty. Is this clear? Okay, the same thing. Now further, how did it decline? How did the Chola dynasty decline? Internal conflicts is one. Okay. So, internal conflicts is one. And further, external threats from your Pandyas, Hoysalas and Kakatiyas and also Delhi Sultanates further. And further, loss of trade control, reduced overseas dominance. And the last Chola ruler was your Rajendra III, who were defeated by the Pandyas. Pandya rulers, that is Mahavarman Kulakeshwara I. Now, let's also see about the navy and trade system. So, Cholas maintained excellent navy expeditions and further they used navy for Sri Lanka, Maldives and Southeast Asia. They had the trade relations with China, that is Song dynasty. And further, the ports, important ports are Pumpuhar, Nagapattinam, Kaveri Pattanam. And they were the India's first empires to launch the naval expeditions to your Southeast Asia. So that's it. This is a decline and these are the important rulers. Art and architecture we have discussed. We have discussed about their unique electoral system. And we have also discussed about their administration, art and architecture and these all details. Clear? So this is a holistic thing or a detailed description, a brief description about your Chola dynasty which is very important for your exam. Clear? In prelims it will be asked, in mains and interview, every aspect of your exam, Chola dynasty is important. So please do read this Chola dynasty and also if you see this video and if you read your NCERTs, this is enough. Thank you and have a good day.